Introduction: the rise and peak of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is considered one of the greatest and most influential empires in history. It began as a small city-state and expanded to control vast territories around the Mediterranean. The rise of Rome was achieved through a combination of military prowess, diplomacy, economic strength, and cultural integration. The founding and early periods of Rome. Rome began as a legendary city founded by Romulus and Remus in 753 BCE. Initially a small kingdom, Rome transitioned into a republic in 509 BCE and thrived for approximately 500 years. The Republic era and expansion policy. During the Republic era, Rome strengthened both militarily and politically. It first secured control over the Italian peninsula and then expanded westward after the Punic Wars against Carthage, notably during the Second Punic War, where Hannibal's threat showcased Rome's military strategy and determination. The Empire era and Golden Age. The transition to the Roman Empire began with Augustus, 27 BCE, 14 CE, becoming the first emperor. His reign marked the start of the Pax Romana, a 200-year period of peace and prosperity. Rome expanded its borders to Britain, the Middle East, North Africa, and the Rhine and Danube rivers during this time. This era was characterized by advanced infrastructure, monumental architecture, and a sophisticated legal system. Achievements during the Golden Age. Under emperors like Trajan, 98 to 117 CE, and Hadrian, 117 to 138 CE, the empire reached its greatest extent and strength. Trajan expanded Rome to its furthest boundaries, while Hadrian focused on consolidation and fortification. Cultural interactions with various peoples enriched Roman culture and legacy. The decline and internal problems of the Roman Empire. As Rome reached its peak, signs of decline began to emerge, characterized by internal political turmoil, economic difficulties, and social changes. Managing the vast territories became increasingly challenging, and internal issues accelerated the empire's downfall. Internal political turmoil and succession struggles. One of the major weaknesses of the Roman Empire was its internal political instability. The empire was frequently rocked by succession struggles, rebellions, and assassinations. The 3rd century, known as the Crisis of the 3rd Century, saw nearly 20 emperors in 50 years, many of whom were assassinated or overthrown. Economic difficulties and inflation. The economic structure of the Roman Empire required immense resources to maintain its vast territories and large army. As expansion ceased, the flow of spoils from conquests dwindled, leading to financial strain and economic stagnation. High taxes and inflation further exacerbated these issues. Currency devaluation and inflation severely weakened the Roman economy. The devaluation of currency reduced the purchasing power of citizens, leading to widespread economic instability and social unrest. Social and cultural changes. The spread of Christianity brought significant changes to the traditional Roman social and cultural fabric. Emperor Constantine's Edict of Milan in 313 CE legalized Christianity, and Theodosius I made it the state religion in 380 CE. This shift transformed the empire's religious and social structure. Christianity became a unifying force, but also led to religious conflicts and divisions within the empire. The replacement of traditional pagan practices with Christian beliefs and the restructuring of social norms contributed to the changing societal landscape. Administrative and bureaucratic issues. Managing the extensive territories of the Roman Empire became increasingly difficult. Bureaucratic corruption and inefficiency undermined the administrative system. The division of the empire into East and West under Diocletian, 284 to 305 CE, was an attempt to address these issues, but it ultimately weakened the central authority. Diocletian's tetrarchy, dividing the empire into 4 parts ruled by 2 Augusti and 2 Caesars, aimed to improve governance but proved unsustainable in the long run. Military pressures and barbarian invasions. The Roman Empire faced constant threats from northern barbarian tribes. Goths, Vandals, and Huns frequently invaded Roman territories. In 410 CE, the Visigoths sacked Rome, dealing a significant blow to the empire's prestige and power. These internal issues and signs of decline marked the first phase of the Roman Empire's downfall. In the next section, we will explore the impact of external threats and barbarian invasions on the empire. External threats, barbarian invasions, and Rome's defensive strategies. The internal weaknesses of the Roman Empire, coupled with external threats and barbarian invasions, accelerated the decline. In this section, we will focus on the barbarian tribes' incursions and Rome's efforts to defend against these threats. The rise of barbarian tribes and attacks on Rome. The Roman Empire's borders were constantly threatened by external forces, particularly the Germanic tribes. Among these tribes, the Goths, Vandals, Franks, and Huns played significant roles. Goths. The Goths were divided into the Visigoths and Ostrogoths. In 376 CE, the Visigoths sought refuge within the Roman Empire due to pressure from the Huns. Mistreatment by the Romans led to their rebellion and a decisive victory over Roman forces at the Battle of Adrianople in 378 CE. This victory marked a turning point in Rome's military decline. In 410 CE, under King Alaric, the Visigoths sacked Rome, showcasing the empire's vulnerability. Vandals. The Vandals crossed the Rhine River into Gaul in 406 CE, later moving to Spain in North Africa. In 455 CE, under King Genseric, the Vandals sacked Rome again, severely damaging the empire's economy and infrastructure. Huns. The Huns, a nomadic tribe, posed a significant threat to the Roman Empire. Under their leader Attila, the Huns invaded both eastern and western Roman territories. The Battle of the Catalaunian Plains in 451 CE saw Roman forces achieve a crucial victory against the Huns, but Attila's campaigns further drained Roman resources. Rome's defensive strategies and military reforms. In response to these external threats, the Roman Empire implemented various defensive strategies and military reforms. However, these efforts often proved insufficient to halt the empire's decline. Establishment of the Lime system. To protect its borders, Rome established the limes, a series of defensive fortifications, walls, and garrisons along the Rhine and Danube rivers. These fortifications aimed to prevent barbarian incursions, but eventually proved ineffective. Military reforms and strengthening of legions. Emperors like Diocletian and Constantine undertook significant military reforms to strengthen the Roman army. Diocletian's tetrarchy divided the empire for better management, and Constantine professionalized the military. Despite these efforts, the reforms could not fully address the empire's vulnerabilities. Implementation of the federati system, Rome formed alliances with barbarian tribes, incorporating them as federati, allied troops within the Roman army. While this system initially provided additional military support, it also led to increased reliance on these tribes, who eventually pursued their interests independently. Division and civil wars. The division of the empire into East and West weakened Rome's ability to respond effectively to external threats. The Western Roman Empire became increasingly vulnerable to barbarian invasions, while the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium, managed to maintain relative stability. The fall of Rome and the end of the Western Roman Empire. The continuous external pressures and barbarian invasions, combined with internal decay, culminated in the fall of the Western Roman Empire. In 476 CE, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. This event is traditionally marked as the end of the Western Roman Empire. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire was a significant turning point in European history. In the final section, we will examine the outcomes of this collapse and the enduring legacy of the Roman Empire. Conclusion: the aftermath and legacy of the fall of the Roman Empire. The fall of the Roman Empire marked a transformative period in Western civilization. This collapse not only signaled the end of an era, but also initiated significant social, economic, cultural, and political changes in Europe. In this section, we will explore the consequences of the Roman Empire's fall and its lasting legacy. The feudal system and the beginning of the Middle Ages. The collapse of the Roman Empire led to the disappearance of central authority and the rise of a new social order in Europe. Local lords and warriors gained power, leading to the establishment of the feudal system. This system was characterized by mutual obligations between lords and vassals, where landowners provided protection in exchange for taxes and services from peasants. The feudal system dominated Europe throughout the Middle Ages. The strengthening of the Church. The fall of the Roman Empire allowed Christianity to spread and strengthen across Europe. The Church emerged as a unifying force in the post-Roman world, providing education, social services, and moral guidance. The papacy became a significant political and religious authority in Western Europe, exerting considerable influence throughout the Middle Ages. Economic and social transformations. The fall of the Roman Empire led to significant changes in Europe's economic and social structures. The collapse of Roman trade networks and the decline of urban centers shifted economic activities to rural areas. Trade and commerce diminished, and local, agrarian economies became more prominent. Socially, the settlement of barbarian tribes introduced new cultural and ethnic dynamics to Europe. Germanic kingdoms emerged across various regions, laying the foundations for modern European states. Cultural legacy and Roman influence. Despite its fall, the Roman Empire's legacy continued to influence Europe. Roman law, engineering, and architecture remained influential during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. The infrastructure built by the Romans, such as roads, bridges, and aqueducts, continued to be used for centuries. Latin remained the language of scholarship, science, and the church throughout the Middle Ages. Roman literature, philosophy, and art provided a rich cultural heritage that shaped European intellectual development. The Renaissance, in particular, saw a revival of interest in Roman culture and achievements. The Byzantine Empire. While the Western Roman Empire fell, the Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive. Centered in Constantinople, the Byzantine Empire preserved Roman cultural and political traditions. It endured for nearly 1,000 years until its conquest by the Ottoman Turks in 1453. Lessons from the fall of the Roman Empire. The fall of the Roman Empire provides valuable lessons on the challenges faced by empires and states. Internal political stability, economic sustainability, military strength, and effective defense strategies are crucial for the longevity of any empire. The decline of central authority and internal conflicts can significantly weaken a state's ability to withstand external threats. The fall of the Roman Empire remains one of the most significant turning points in Western history. It marked the transition to the Middle Ages and set the stage for the development of modern European states. The legacy of Rome endures in various fields, including law, engineering, architecture, and culture, continuing to influence contemporary society. With this detailed conclusion, we have comprehensively covered the fall of the Roman Empire and its profound impact on history. In the next topic, we will continue exploring other significant events and figures throughout history.